Hi, welcome back to my channel, Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another DeAgostini Collectibles build, the Volkswagen T1 Samba bus. I am working on pack number 22, stages 103 to 107. Wow, we're getting close to the finish line with this one, and I've really enjoyed this build. This time I'll be installing the front windshield and working on the top of it, the rag top as we call it, and it's fantastic, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a lot to show you. With that, let's get started. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another installment of the DeAgostini Collectibles build, the Volkswagen T1 Samba bus. I am currently working on pack 22, stages 103 to 107. In stage 103, I work on the front windshield. Those are great, they're hinged. Stage 104, once again we continue with that. And stage 105, we work on the what we call the rag top, or the pullback material top on the bus. 106 is the top. Once again, the rag top itself, very nice. And 107, continuing on with the interior. Looks like the overhead console area. Let's get started on 103. And to get started, I'll just show you the magazine here real quick for this build. This is 103, and great articles here. I love this, the Polizei Volkswagen bus there, police transporters. And I saw a lot of those when I was in Germany. Very cool there. And then the instructions for the windshield, very detailed there. Assembly diagram. Step by step here. We'll be putting some hinges together. We've done that before, and that's what it will look like, and it looks great. Let's get a detailed view of the instructions. 103 is the windshield here. Here's the parts, and there's the diagram, and we'll be putting these hinges together. And they just talk about the hinges, how they secure with the grooves that are on the end of the pin. We've done this before. I'm going to do a lot of this off camera and show you the result, just so you know basically what's going on and what I did with the operation here. Moving on. Just a lot easier to show you off camera what's going on with this. That's what we have. Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 103. Let's get a closer look. BD08 and BP09. We have some mounting brackets here. They look like they're made of plastic. They are marked left and right. The hinges themselves with the pins and the windows. And both hinges are assembled. That's how they look there. Now we'll go ahead and mount these to the windows. Next we'll take our window here. You can see the hinges on the inside are like that. And we'll take our hinge that we assembled, and it's going to lay down just like that. Where the hinge part is going to be on the outside of the window. And two BP09 screws go into that. That's how that looks there. And just like that. And both hinges are installed. That's how they look. Let's go ahead and mount the support brackets. Next, you'll need to examine the supports, opening guide buffers, and that's these right here, left and right, and indicate how they are inserted. Okay. So these buffers will install on the front A-pillar of the front windshield, and they'll insert into these two slots right here. I'll show you that. And right there, they'll install onto those two nubs right there sticking out. And just like that, that's how that looks on the right side. I'll go ahead and do the left side and I'll be right back. And there's the left side installed right there. Now we need to put one on the center. Goes right there on that mount. And there's that center mount. And those two nubs go towards the top of the window. We're going to install that with a BD08 screw. And there it is, screwed in place. And that completes stage 103. We have the mounts installed and the window hinges installed there. Let's head over and do 104. 104, we'll continue with assembling the windshield. These are the parts included here. We're going to mount those windshields onto the front of the bus. Bring them over, probably be using some tape to help us along with this. Be putting them underneath the windshield wiper blades, being careful with that. Installing a couple of screws for each one. And those brackets that help guide the window open and closed. That's how they look there. Very cool. Very nice. And we'll have the roof ventilation intake left over. So let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 104. Let's get a closer look. We have 4 of those support brackets and 4 pins here for those, and the ventilation part here. And here's the windshield. Here's the inside with the handles, and of course the outside. We'll mount that to the frame. It's going to slide up in there. 2 BD08 screws go on the other side. And both windshields are in. Both screws are mounted like they should be. Looks great. Okay, the hinges are in place. The brackets. And that's how they look. And it opens and closes just like that. And will stay secure. Take and push down those little brackets, and that will tighten them up, the window. And then I can take the wiper blade and put that over the top. Just like that. So those windows are done. Very hard to show you this on the video, but when you get the kit yourself, you'll see how it's done, and just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. And there you go. That completes stage 104. Let's head over and do stage 105. For stage 105, we'll work on the sunroof bows. And here's all the parts we got. So we need to retrieve the top part that we received previously, and we'll start installing all the bows and the front vents onto it. Pretty cool there. That's what it'll look like when we're done. Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 105. There's the bows. Let's get a closer look. BP12 screws. And the bows, we have 4 that look the same here. 4 more that look the same, just a little different from these 2. And then the 2 end pieces here. It looks like they sandwich together, as in this will go on top of that. We'll put screws into them when they're installed on the roof panel. And same thing with the end piece here. This will go on top of that one also. Let's get started. And here's that roof part we received in stage 100. Went ahead and took it out of the bag so you can get a closer look. And that's what it looks like. Made of plastic. Very nice. We're going to go ahead and install our vents up front here first. And you can see there's 4 pins here. They're just going to press fit in place. After everything's lined up here, we'll press fit those. And that's how it looks, all press fit. Looks good. Now we'll install our bows. First one, this one right here, the 2 ends, that's going to go down just like that. Then we're going to turn it over and put the other part of the bow on the other side. And take the other part here. That's how that looks. And that's simply just going to go down on top. Just like that. I'm going to screw that together. BP12's going to this, 3 of them. It's got a flange on it. And that's what that looks like. Looks good. I'll go ahead and get the other ones installed and I'll be right back. Okay, all the bows are installed. We have 3 screws for this bow right here, 3 for this one, 3 for this one. But the one near the front, this is the front part of the roof, we have to leave the screw out. We have to leave it open on that one right there. So we need to put 2 in. Now we'll go ahead and install the trim piece, the front bow piece, and that's going to go on hopefully just like that. And you want it to line up just like that. And that looks good. And we're going to secure that bow down just like that. Same thing. Same screws go into this. And last one looks good. That's how that looks. And that's all I do with 105. Looks great. Let's head over and do 106. Stage 106, work on the sunroof. We received 2 parts for the sunroof, plus a lot of tiny screws there, and a handle. That's what that looks like there. We're going to sandwich the 2 roofs on those bows. We're going to examine them. We're going to look over the sunroof material. It is elastic material, makes it easier to fit tighten when closed. And get all our screws into them. Same thing with the other one. And we're going to locate the end with a small cut to insert the post with the handle. That's what that looks like there. We'll put the screws in. And lastly, install that handle. And that's what it should look like. Let me get the parts and I will be right back. Here's the parts for 106. Let's get a closer look. BPO1 screws and the handle, which is made of plastic. Here's the top of the sunroof. And like they said, it's very elastic. Has a lot of stretchiness to it. That's the top because it doesn't have a hole put in it for the handle. So the bottom one is right here, and if you look closely, there is a hole right there. So that's the bottom one. We'll line up the rag top with the first beam here, And we're going to put our 2 screws in on it first. Then we'll line up the rest of the bows to the holes that are there. In order to get those tiny screws to go in a little bit easier, you can take an X-Acto blade and you want to widen the hole just a little bit on the outside. Just go straight down on top of it and twist around, and that'll get the hole widened just a little bit on the outside. That way you can get that tiny screw started on this. All the screws are in on top there, and very fiddly to get those screws in, but they're all in. So we'll go ahead and put the bottom rag top in, and we'll screw that down, paying attention to where the handle goes. Which the handle's going to go onto this, so it's going to go just like that. And go ahead and put our handle in, and it just press fits in place. Put it through the hole just like that, and we'll press fit it in place. And there you go. Perfect. That's how that looks. And there you go, all the screws are installed. Use an X-Acto knife to widen those holes just a little bit to get the screws started. Works great and saves a lot of time. But basically, this is so you can slide it back and display the inside, be able to see inside, no problem. That's all I do with stage 106. Let's head over and do the final stage for this pack, stage 107. Let's look at stage 107, which is the final stage for pack 22. Air extractor, sun visors, and mirror. These are the parts we received. And we don't actually do anything in this stage. That's how everything should look so far. There's the parts. Let me get the parts and I will be right back. Here's the parts for 107. So we have the visors, the rear view mirror, upper console there. So that looks like. And I'm not going to take this out of the pack so I don't lose the parts until the next pack arrives. So that's all I do with 107. I'll be right back. That completes pack 22. We have leftover parts from stage 107 here. We installed the front windshield and the hinges and all that, and we installed the rag top. Fantastic there. So if you think you'd like to get this for yourself, head over to DeAgostini Collectibles and subscribe to this bus today. I put a direct link in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.